Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Bird Brothers podcast. I am one of your hosts, Falcon, alongside my good pal Condor. How are you doing today, Condor?
Oh, I'm just doing fantastic, and I'm ready to talk
Fantastic.
about some anime after not talking about it for a whole week.
Yeah, we do apologize. We had some scheduling issues last week, which
Right.
didn't get us to get the episode recorded
No,
in
we're
time.
just joking. I overslept.
Yeah. I was gonna try to, be vague about it, but yeah, you Condor overslept, which is fine. It happens. We'd had busy weeks, so
Yes, I had a
yeah.
busy. I actually really did have a busy week at
You
work
really
that
did.
week. So
And also, just while we're on
electronics can be
it,
stressful, my friends.
there is a chance I may sneeze fairly often this podcast. I've had sneezing issues all morning, so I apologize in advance if it happens. Hopefully, it will not, but you can't control that really too
And
much.
if Falcon does sneeze a lot, how about you guys in the comments type how many times he sneezed for the session?
Sneeze count? Ooh, maybe.
Maybe a sneeze count.
Maybe. Let's see. All right. But anyway,
By the way, I just want to take a quick moment to say I love how in the beginning when we do our intro, you always close your eyes when you say my name.
do I?
You
I've not
always have
noticed
your eyes closed. I
that.
feel like you're
I
debating
can't
on
look
calling
at you
me.
when I say it.
I feel like you're debating on calling me Chimp or Condor, and I'm just like, what's he gonna say this time? You're like, don't say Chimp, don't say Chimp.
Anyway, we're here to talk about anime, not dumb things I do. And this week, we are talking about the first two seasons of Nisekoi.
Woo! Oh
What?
boy, I actually was very surprised, as you people have probably heard the last podcast when you said we were doing this because I did not know prior, and I actually really do enjoy Nisekoi. So I was really pleasantly happy to watch it, going into it. But I will say, watching 32 episodes in a week is really, really tough. I'll say.
Yeah, it got a little tiresome by the end of the week.
Especially, well, I mean, if let me rephrase that. If I was completely free and I had nothing to do, yeah,
Mhm.
I'd have no problems with it. But when you're balancing Genshin and work and other things,
Wow,
yeah,
Genshin
it's
is a
not fun at
job
all.
now.
Oh yeah,
Genshin is
I
something you
finally got
have
all
to
the
do.
characters other than
Uh,
the four banner characters I'm missing.
all right. Well, anyway, Nisekoi is a
Nisekoi.
show about our boy Raku Ichijou. He is the son of a mafia family in Japan and has made a promise with the girl 10 years prior that he does not remember really, and he does not remember who the girl is, but he has a locket that he cherishes, and they'd always said when they met back up, she would have the key to prove it, and they would unlock the lock. And he's wanting to keep that promise to this girl. However, he is forced to date a girl who just moved to town because she is also the heir of a mafia family, and they want their families to prevent an all-out war.
Sounds
Uh,
like a dream come true, huh? Well,
you know
unfortunately, it
it.
is not.
Yeah, so they're having to fake a relationship to keep the mafia people happy, while Raku is still trying to figure out who the girl is that he's in love with from 10 years ago, who has the key to his lock. And harem comedy will ensue.
Very
Uh,
much harem comedy will
yeah.
ensue.
You have anything else to add about the synopsis here, Condor?
Yes, with lots of twists and turns, you find out lots of things. The pacing is pretty moderate, though I will admit one of the problems I had for watching this, and something I do remember before when I read it, and when I read it the first time, because I've actually read the whole manga to this series, is that they do a lot of things that are really stupid that don't really do anything for the main story. I guess
Mm.
there's like little like fun things, but I feel like they do that too much, you know.
I mean, I feel like there's filler, but I feel like you kind of have to with this story because essentially there's multiple girls who have multiple keys who all made a promise with the boy 10 years ago. Um, so I feel like there's not much you can do with figuring out who has the right key. I mean, we see at one part one of them tries to open up the lock and the key breaks. So are you just gonna have that happen all the time, or when it gets repaired, is it just gonna be like, all right, stick your keys in, who is it? I feel like the kind of filler, just everyday like slice of life stuff has to be in there to kind of keep it going. But
I
there was some of it that seemed just utterly pointless.
I
Like,
do
let's fix the pool
agree.
today. Why? Like,
I
okay,
I will do agree with that statement, but I feel like they just do it too much. Like
yeah.
maybe if they had like one comedy chapter, one plot progression chapter, or like episode or something like that, like back and back, not like Oh, hey, and this is like one of the problems with it, like later in the series. I mean, I will say the arcs later in the series are really good. In my opinion, they're pretty good, they're pretty thought out, really good character moments to a lot of people. But like between them, there's just these like I don't think they showed it in the anime, but they have this like little thing. They're like this running gag with Sugumi, one of the girls, where Claude gives her this like machine, and it's like, all right, go do this with like with Raku, try to show him how far the fraud he is, and then just like antics ensue like every single time. I think there's like 4 or 5 chapters of that in the manga in total.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they never. I could have sworn they showed one of them in the anime, but I didn't remember seeing any when we watched it. So
I feel like that's probably just to give Sugimi more to do, because out of all the characters, she's the one that you had kind of don't really have a whole lot to have her do, really. I feel like she's barely a step up from some of the side characters.
Falcon, she got the biggest boobs in the show.
I mean, yeah, but who, if that's all you care about, cool. But she doesn't have a key. But yeah, anyway.
Does she have a key?
No,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. She doesn't have a key.
I thought you already told me she didn't. But yeah. Anyway, we should go on and start, I guess, getting into the character some. Although I don't care if we get off topic this one. I feel like we'll do that a lot. But just for semblance of a normal format, let's go on and talk about our main boy, Raku Ichijou.
Ichijou Raku. He has blue hair. He is the hair of the clan. He is called Bochan. He's also called Beansprout by his fake girlfriend, because apparently literally everyone thinks he's a freaking Beansprout. I have no idea why.
Probably just because he's tall and skinny.
Because he's tall
like
and
a Beansprout.
Raku presents himself to be quite civilized and highly artistic, except when he encounters a new person with a lack of respect or regard for him or others around him. Basically, you show respect, he gives respect. You know what I'm saying? He is kind and considerate, as said by most girls in the show, and it is also what gets them to fall in love with him, because obviously main character is kind to girl falls in love, easy anime trope, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, easy anime trope.
He's easy to get along with, and it's highly motivated by past actions. He's basically the type of person, like there's this one scene where he's like, he's super annoyed with Chitoge, and then they're in the pool practicing. It was for Onodera to like get better. And then I guess Chitoge didn't stretch, and she starts drowning, and Raku literally like without like a second thought like dives in to like save her. That's actually what I respect. I actually really like Raku as a main character. I think he's like he's one of the perfect main characters in my opinion. He doesn't think whenever he sees something, he acts. He doesn't think, he acts. He knows what he has to do, and he just does it. He does a lot of moments like that, like later in the manga, especially with my favorite part of the anime, which we'll get into when we get to favorite moments. I'm sure you could think of what it is. It's not that hard to think of.
Probably,
but basically, he is also highly skilled at cooking and is happy to do so. He's really good. He cooks for his whole clan, and everybody in his like mafia respects him. It's really nice.
Yeah, he does all the meal cooking for or at least breakfast and dinner. I don't know about lunch because he's at school. But yeah, he does all the cooking for the Yakuza family. Which is cooking for probably several hundred people multiple times a day, every day. Yeah, I agree with Raku being a great main character. I feel like especially for a harem anime, like he's not just that pervy guy who wants to see boobs all the time or just complains that he can't get a girl. He's just this genuinely good guy who actually has goals and ambitions in life. Like he's the heir to the Yakuza family, but he repeatedly says he doesn't want to do that. He wants to be like an actual, benefit to society and doing his part to make the society better and grow. He wants to have he's essentially like a salary man. He doesn't want to be doing the shady underworld kind of deal that he's been brought up in. But yeah, I really like him. I really appreciate him. Like you said, there's tons of times where somebody he really doesn't like or really doesn't care for needs his help, and he doesn't even, second guess going to help them. He still helps them anyway. Because he likes being of help. Yeah, I really like Raku a lot. He's great.
He is a good main character. I feel like he fits perfectly, especially with all the thug things he does. Like, oh my god, I could talk on and on about the things he does in the future. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the anime.
We may need to do a special manga episode because I'm wanting to finish reading the manga. So if I get caught up with the manga, we could do a manga one of we're talking about everything that happened after the anime. Okay.
Oh boy. That's gonna take a while, my friend. I'll tell you what, because there is 200 and something chapters of this series.
Yeah, but
And
when did the anime end on?
that I actually was just about to look that up for your knowledge because I remember the last episode of the anime. We are only how far? I think we're only 10 volumes in.
Okay, so there's like what 16 left, I think. There's what
Oh, my friend,
26?
there's 229 chapters.
Okay.
I think we're only 100 in. And just to let people know, there's still another girl that they didn't introduce. We're still missing a girl.
Yeah, but obviously I feel like if they come in that late, they're not like the girl.
You don't know that.
I mean, it could be, but I feel like that's never the case.
You don't know that.
So like one of the things I'll say, I watched the first season when it originally aired, but I never got around to the second season. And one of the best parts about this was trying to work with people on like forums to figure out who the girl was the promise was made with using whatever clue we could find at the time. Like I genuinely loved that part about it. It's like, oh, like I remember back in the day, and I don't know if this is right or not, but I'm like, I feel like Onodera is the girl he made the promise with, but he's not going to give a shit by the end of it. Like it just talking about everything as we were going down, it was great. And watching it back through, I still really enjoyed it, but I really missed that whole part of like watching it with everybody and trying to figure it out and piece it all together because I love a good mystery. And so trying to figure it out based on just what little clues we have. I remember back we were looking at it like, okay, yeah, but like Onodera has a key, but her key looks at like a completely different style from the lock that Raku has. So and so's key looks more like it with the little like it was really great. I really loved it. Man, I miss so great.
The thinking and debating on it was always really clever and fun to think about.
Mhm.
Like, who could it be? What could be the situation? And then when you find out what it is, it's like, oh,
Then you have Marika come in. You're like, wait, hold up, what? There's another girl.
another girl.
It's like
And yeah, and then there's another girl.
Yeah.
They did introduce. Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, that's. I guess we should talk about Chitoge.
You want to talk about? Well, actually, I was gonna say that there would
Okay.
be a trivia fact, but all the trivia facts are like kind of spoilers, so I'm not
Okay.
gonna mention
Then I will
the
not
trivia
look down
fact.
there
Oh, I
yet.
can mention this one actually.
Okay.
There's a running gag that has Raku earning the ire and jealousy of most of his male classmates because of his involvement with several female characters. Only once letting him off in their second year school trip when Raku is paired up with the other guys instead of the girls. I don't think they showed that, but that's a fun fact.
I don't think they did either. Yeah. So I like how they did that in the show because they didn't really like focus on it. But if you go back and actually pay attention, like especially when Marika comes, like, yeah, she's a stunner. Oh, great. We have another girl today. And then she's like, oh, Raku's my fiance. And you just see all the guys in the background with like red eyes and like getting angry. It's like you can tell like every time there's a new girl that comes to the class, they have some connection to Raku. And they don't care about any of the other guys. So I kind of like that. It was kind of fun. It's like, hey, we have another girl to have a shot with. Oh, no, never mind. She's stuck with Raku again.
Oh boy.
Oh, then it's like, I'm your fiance. What? I don't have a fiance. Yes, you do. What? Like, no, this is my girlfriend. What are you talking about?
That's just my girlfriend. She's blonde and American. I
Yeah.
love her. She's my little gorilla.
She's his
when
little
he
chimp, if you
gave him the plush gorilla.
gorilla with her hair. Oh man.
It's
All
great.
right. But yes, Chitoge Kurosaki. She is the heir of the Honeybee Mafia, and is the one who is forced to date Raku because their parents don't want their families killing each other. She is very hyperactive, very violent, very outgoing. Very stubborn as well, I would say. She and Raku do not really get along well at all at the start.
Not at all.
I mean,
No,
they
they
first meet
hated
when
each
she
other.
knees him in the face, and then he complains that because of her, he lost his locket, and she doesn't see why she has to help him look for it because he was in her way.
Yeah. It's like they were destined to be fighting forever for their whole
Yeah.
life. I don't think a relationship like that could last.
No,
No,
never.
not at all.
But anyway,
It's not like she ends up falling in love with him. No.
what? No, like every
What?
other girl in the show. You must be crazy. They all fall in love with Shu. Anyway,
She is the best. What are you talking about?
I like Shu. He's fun. we could talk about Shu later.
We will. But basically, Chitoge is somewhat a forgetful, stern, and bold girl. However, once someone gets to know her better, she becomes very talkative and nice. As was shown in the beginning, she was kind of nervous. She's like, "Oh, I want to get to know people, but I don't know how," which is also really good.
Notebook.
I think it was either episode 3 or 4. Yeah, she was working on the notebook, and Raku comes in and sees that, and he's like, I've been literally sitting in your position. Let me help you get to know people better."
Yeah.
And that just like really made me smile seeing that. And like this is just why Raku is such a great character.
Yeah, when he even found out that the other girls hadn't really talked to her because they were kind of like intimidated by her. If they tried, they didn't feel like she was very interested in talking. So he was able to kind of help spur her along and being like, no, these girls want to talk to you. Here, let me help you out. This person likes this, and she's doing what. It was really cool moment, because even though at that point they really hated each other, they couldn't really stand each other. But he was just there to be like, look, I'll help you out, get you to make some new friends and all that sort of deal.
She has like pink highlights at the end of her hair too. I always miss that when I read the manga.
I've always really liked that though. It's kind of a nice like little design.
It's just so weird.
She's also got that big red ribbon that moves around with her emotions.
Oh yeah.
That's one of my favorite things about her design, is that like you would just randomly see like her bow do something, and like her ribbon do something. You're like, what's going to happen? You can usually tell how she was feeling because of it. I always really liked it.
But basically, Chitoge is a girl. She's the one who ends up fake dating Raku, and as the series goes on, she actually ends up falling in love with him. Usually by the end of season 1.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. If you care about things, and then she cares about things. Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
She ends up making friends with like Onodera and everybody. It's really sweet. She gets like a nice friend group, which is what she always wanted, because she always felt constantly that she had to like always keep moving around between houses because she was in like a mafia thing. So
yeah, and then if people found out her dad was a mafia man, like mafia boss, nobody wanted to have anything to do with her, because who wants to hang out with a criminal's daughter?
It made me laugh that episode. They went to go celebrate with her for her birthday, and she's like, "Oh, but they don't know I'm in a mafia." Then Raku literally goes over there like, "Hey, Chitoge's a daughter of a mafia family." They're like, "Okay, that's cool."
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, like you, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." It's like, okay, that's fine.
I'm like, okay.
Well, I feel like that group's a little different because they're all already friends with Raku, and I mean, like, you go to his house and you immediately know he's the son of this like Yakuza family. So I feel like they just didn't care because they'd gotten so used to like being with Raku that they knew that didn't make her like a bad person. She just had a family who owns a criminal crime ring or whatever. But and her dad really doesn't seem like the kind of guy who would, though. Like whenever you get to know like the dad, it's like he doesn't seem like that kind of guy, but apparently he is. But yeah,
the dad is pretty chill.
The dad is super chill. I liked her dad a lot. He was fun. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else we can really say about Chitoge, which means we should probably move on to Onodera.
Are we moving on to your best girl, Falcon?
I'm not sure anymore. The first time watching it, Onodera was the best girl.
Whoa, who's your best girl now?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
It might still be Onodera. I'm not sure. The second run through, I appreciated Chitoge a lot more than I did the first time. The first time I couldn't stand Chitoge. Definitely not Tsugumi. I don't know. I guess right now I'd say Onodera is probably still in the lead a little bit, but not by much.
So I'll be real. Going off on the best girl thing. My bias for Marika is just based off of the manga. But if I were to just talk about anime only, I'd probably chose Onodera too, because Marika doesn't really get that many episodes about her.
She does it, and when she does, she's just like, I'll win him over. You all just leave us alone.
Or like the parrot one. That was a weird one.
That was such a weird episode. Yeah.
See, it's episodes like that those are the ones I was talking about, where it's just like it has no point on the plot, and it's just kind of annoying and stupid, but it's there, and it's fun.
Just like, I'm going out of town, take care of my parrot. I'm not really going out of town.
I'm gonna hear Raku say he loves me, even though he doesn't. Ha ha.
I mean, I thought there were parts of that were funny, like the fact to like get the parrot to like stop. He had to yell like, I forgot what he had to yell. But, like, it was really embarrassing and really annoying. But that it was, I mean, it had its moments. But yeah, overall, it was just a really, really weird episode.
But yeah, as I was saying, I'd probably say Onodera is probably my favorite girl for the anime. But overall, in like the series in general, I choose Marika.
Right. Anyway, Onodera is the daughter of a pastry chef family, but she cannot cook.
No, she cannot.
But she's great with presentation. She's known Raku, I think, since middle school, I think. And they ended up going to the same high school together. She's the girl who Raku is crushing on extremely hard. But he doesn't really say anything to her because he doesn't realize that she is also crushing on him, even though
they both crush on
obvious.
each other. It's great. It's like, imagine how this series would have gone if Chitoge never came.
Right? Yeah. So anyway, she's trying to win him over.
Chitoge, has a key pendant. We forgot the keys. Chitoge has a key. Onodera has a key. There's keys. I have keys at my house.
But she also is very timid and like very kind-natured. So even though she's crushing on Raku, whenever Chitoge comes into the picture and they are fake dating, she tries not to make any moves or do anything out of respect to Chitoge. There's even one part early on where she finds out Raku made a promise to a girl 10 years ago, and that's why he has the locket, but he doesn't remember anything about her. And since she has a key, she thinks Raku could be the guy she made the promise with, but she doesn't say anything or even mention that she has a key because she doesn't want to risk stepping on Chitoge's shoes and, making that enemy.
Classic anime trope.
She's very much, I feel like, kind of the girl next door kind of trope.
She's also a bit airheaded.
Yeah.
Definitely airheaded.
She's not the smartest girl.
Cute to see. No, she's pretty smart. She's just airheaded.
She barely got into the school.
I would say she's... that is a good point. She did barely get into the school.
Mm-hmm. She was on the waiting list or something, I think.
I guess she's more... I would say she's still more book smart than street smart, if that makes sense.
Probably.
I mean, she did it just so she could go to the same school as Raku, and she did it. Oh boy. She also is a genius tester. Apparently that's an ability. Oh, she also has a natural affinity for animals. I don't know if you watched at the end of season 1 in the beginning, they had like a little section of so you can learn more about the characters, and they showed this one where it was Raku and Chitoge taking care of the animals, and like all the animals were getting excited, and Chitoge was like, what's going on with them? And Raku's like, oh, it must be Onodera, she must be coming. And as soon as she comes on, they all literally go up to her and they're like, oh my god, and she's like, oh hi guys, it's so good to see you all, and they're all just really happy. Did you know?
They all hate Raku, so it's like, why is Raku the one who got stuck taking care of them? But yeah, which doesn't ever seem to do anything wrong. They just don't like him.
They just hate him. They know the secrets. And Jesus, Chitoge has a lot of trivia facts.
Yeah, and I really like Onodera, but also Onodera seems like she has the flags for that girl who's just gonna be super unhappy at the end of it.
You think so?
I think
you really think so?
Every anime rom-com I've seen, she's the girl who I want to root for and I really like, and then she's the one who at the end is like, I love you, and they're like, no, go away. I've not finished it. I've only seen the anime, and in the anime we don't know yet. But there's flags for that abound.
But Falcon, she's a magical girl.
Is she? Oh, that is she is a magical girl. I'd almost forgotten about that.
I hated that episode.
Yeah.
I did not like it. I hate when I barely paid attention to it.
And then all the sidekicks are just there as random talking animals because why not?
Well, it's actually a spinoff manga. Magical Girl Kosaki. Yeah, I don't know. It's dumb. It's stupid. But hey, people like it. Did you know that Kosaki's favorite colors are white and red?
Wow. She loves the Japan flag.
Yeah, here it is. Kosaki is also the main protagonist in Nisekoi spin-off manga Magical Pastier Kosaki-chan. I'm like, yay. Fun stuff.
Oh my god. All right.
Also, she has a sister who...
She does. Haru, who is in the second season, but is not important.
Is a bit prevalent in season 2, but I mean, she is important, but we're choosing not to talk about her because too many characters to talk about.
She's just there for panty jokes, really. Let's be real.
I mean, that is true. That's just kind of sad, but hey. Yeah. It's kind of weird because you have Raku being a gentleman and people hate him because of what the girl's doing. Finally, something bad like this happens where he accidentally sees a girl's panties and it's like, oh my god, you're the worst. And it's it's not my fault.
Yeah.
It's the wind. It's weird that they took that long to wait to do a panty joke on him instead of just doing it right from the get-go. It's a weird choice.
But that's one thing I liked about the show, though. They had some of the harem tropes, they had the hot spring episode where Raku gets stuck on the girl's side. But besides that, there wasn't really anything that was like super tropey about this too much. Besides maybe just kind of some of the personality types, some of the girls. But yeah, then all of a sudden in season 2, like whenever Haru's there, some way they find some way to lift her skirt up through the wind, and she gets mad. It's kind of like, okay, like it felt like it didn't have anything just super. I wouldn't even, I guess, fan servicey. There wasn't anything like overly fan servicey in it until then, and then like every time Haru showed up, it's just like, woo, like, oh,
what about
no.
the beach episodes? Those are fan.
Oh, that's true. The beach ones were a little, yeah, but
yeah, little.
Besides those, I mean, but yeah, besides like that and the hot spring episode, like those are the only two I could think of. Yeah, I'm not thinking of any more.
But anyway, Kusaki is anime's best girl.
Mm-hmm. And then that brings us to Seshiro Sugumi.
Sugumi?
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about the blue-haired boy who's actually a girl?
What, the blue-haired boy who's actually a girl?
What?
I never knew.
It's kind of funny that like Shu knew from the beginning that she was a girl.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Shu has, that girl scent. He knows whenever a girl walks within 50 feet of him.
When you watched the anime for the very first time, did you think it was a girl right away or no? You think
I had a feeling it was a girl, but I wasn't sure. It was one of those, I'm like, I think this could be a girl, but I honestly don't know. So like when they had the whole reveal, like she's a girl, it's like, wait, hold up, what? Like,
hey, what?
I was like, it's like I thought maybe, but then I wasn't sure. It's like I wasn't totally unsure until they revealed it, but I had an inkling she could have been a girl. I mean, realistically, it's a harem anime, and a new character comes in that seems like is going to be somewhat important. It's probably a girl.
It could be a rival. You never know that. Some actually.
I'm trying to think if I've actually seen a show where there is a rival.
No, there's not.
Yeah, I can't think of any. I mean, that'd be a good concept. Some mangaka, go make it happen. Have a harem where there's a rival for all the girls.
That's right. And then the girl is in love with both the guys and doesn't know who to choose. I think we just hit it off. We should make it our own series right now.
Make it the animal parade of harem animes, okay?
But anyway, Sugumi is a girl. She also has blue hair and she wears a ribbon. She gets introduced as a guy in the beginning, and then you find out she's a girl when her and Raku fight, and they fall into a pool because Raku is big brain, and then he goes to like change her, and then that's when he sees she's wearing a bra, and things get really awkward. Mm-hmm. Apparently, her breast size is an E. That's what it says on the Wikia. I didn't look that up.
Sure, you didn't look it up.
Does it right here where Sugumi was mistaken by a boy by many people when she first enrolled to high school due to her looks and her uniform. Despite this, her breast size is an E and they are actually still growing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. She is if I were to make it, she's like a hitman for the for Chitoge's like mafia.
Yeah, she is a hitman for the Honeybee Gang or
I just want to take this moment to realize I don't think Raku's gang ever had like a hitman. Like I'm thinking of the anime and the manga.
Not that we know of.
No, I'm just saying in general. Like there is none from like the manga. I don't remember at all. It's kind of weird.
She gets brought back because Claude doesn't believe that Raku and Chitoge are actually dating. So he brings Sugumi back to be Chitoge's bodyguard and to keep tabs on them to see if Raku and Chitoge are in fact dating, because if not, Claude wants to kill him. She is also Claude's adoptive son, because Claude does not realize that she is in fact a girl. Which is funny whenever you see the flashbacks of like he's trying to get Sugumi to take a bath with him, and she's like, "No, I'll wait." He doesn't understand why he doesn't want to just hop in the bath with him. Just all these things where like he should realize, like, hey, she's a girl. But because he adopted her, she was trained from like a young age to be a hitman, and you find out she's actually this like legendary hitman in the States. Was it the Black Tiger or something?
It was the Black Tiger.
Yeah. So she's really good at killing people. And she's brought back just to
she's really good at killing
protect
people.
Chitoge.
She failed to kill the main character. Amazing.
Yep.
Did you know one of her dislikes is her growing breasts?
Oh wow, I never would have known.
You never would have guessed.
No.
Oh boy.
Yep. Otherwise, anything else I really need to say? She's more of just kind of like a side character who ends up crushing on Raku.
Hey, speaking of breasts, initially during her introduction, Sugumi was shown extremely manly with no visible breasts. However, once her assigned gender was out to the audience, she was given the largest breasts, much bigger than any girl in the series, as a sign of her feminine interior, which is weird that they decided to portray it right after they revealed that she's a girl.
Yep.
I like her. She's pretty cute. I wish she had a bigger prevalence in the story.
Yeah, she's not really prevalent. I feel like she's brought there more in the beginning to like complicate the matters of the mystery and upholding the fake dating. But
we decided to talk about her because she's cool and we like her and she's important.
Yep. Which leads us to the next main character from the.
Next character,
Marika Tachibana.
Marika Tachibana.
Who is Marika Tachibana?
She's the best girl.
She's the best girl.
That's all you need to know.
She is
Marika she is the daughter of the police chief. She has the police on her side. She could be like, hey, go arrest that man, and they get arrested. Boom. What did he do? Who cares? Marika said so.
Yeah.
Marika is a fair-skinned girl who is considered to be a beautiful girl in class that people were awed by in her beauty. She looks like she could be a model, Falcon. A whole model. She does. And but she's a little frail, as you can see.
She gets sick easily.
Gets sick very easily, and she is fully in love with Raku Ichijou. What a surprise!
Yeah, I mean they are engaged.
They are engaged. That is true, and she also is a key holder.
She does have a key. Yes, she is one of the last key holder we meet in the anime. One more in the manga, apparently.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, she acts all prim and proper and very girly and polite. But she actually is very kind of rude and I don't know what the best other word to talk about her would be.
The reason why she has her hair cut short and the reason why she talks all prim and proper is because her and Raku knew each other when they were kids. Yeah. Just like every other single freaking girl in the show. Yep, and Raku told her that she liked that because Raku would always visit her on her bed because she couldn't go out to play. And she's like, oh yeah, I like girls who talk nice, and I like girls with short hair, so that's why she is like has all those ways. Sometimes you see her talking in her, as they say it, Hakata dialect when she's flustered, embarrassed, or angry.
I actually liked her personality better when she talked with the other dialect. Like I felt it was more unique and less this little fakey, prim and proper girly girl kind of persona that she tries to have to win Raku over.
Also, another reason why Marika is best girl is because she breaks the fourth wall in the manga.
Oh,
yay. If she doesn't break the fourth wall, is she really the best girl?
I mean, you could argue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can you really?
I mean, you can.
That one. But basically, she's just madly in love. She wants to try to get Raku to make him love her and get rid of Chitoge as his girlfriend. You know.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you really think about it, like logistically, I actually thought about it while I was watching anime. I'm like, technically, if let's say Raku decided to ditch Chitoge, decided to date Marika, her dad and his dad could probably like stick a deal to like try to get the Beehive gang out.
I mean, I feel like that's why they're engaged in the first place. I feel like when the dad finally tells Raku, like, oh yeah, your fiance's coming into your school today, be nice to her. He was like, wait, hold up, what? And it's like, oh, I never told you? Oh, yeah. I made that deal 10 years ago. Sorry, you've got a fiance this whole time. I feel like the way he's like, be careful is because, well, he even makes the comment about we don't want to make her dad mad. He's like, who's her dad? Then you find out he's the chief of police. So it's like, oh, we don't want to piss her off because if we do, then her dad could come and bust us all down, you know? So I feel like that's very much the case. But yeah, all Marika would have to do is be like, Daddy, he says he's not going to get married to me. And then the police could just raid Ichigo's family house.
Yeah, but
like, well, we're gonna arrest all of you unless they get married tomorrow, you know, or whatever. Like, she could have won easily, but she decides she'd rather, when she realizes Raku doesn't remember her or really anything about her, she deems she'd rather win him over. So that way, when they do get married, it's not because he was forced to.
What a saint!
Yeah,
what a good girl.
But because of that, she's very mischievous and trying to get them into situations to where she makes the other girls think Raku only cares about her. Like with the parrot. But yeah, she's always trying to like surprise him with hugs and bad situations and
With
whatnot.
hugs and bad situations.
Hugs and bad situations. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else we need to say about her real quick?
Not really. I feel like that's a pretty good song. Again, I like Marika a lot, but they didn't really show much for her in the anime.
Right.
She's more
right.
prevalent in the manga. She actually gets her own little arc, which I like a lot. I would love to talk about it, but they didn't show it in the anime.
Mhm.
It's pretty cool. But I think that's it. We can mention the two side characters now. Which
Yeah,
are there.
Ruri and Shu, which I clicked on Ruri and already have a spoiler. Oof.
Now,
I'm kind of happy
I,
because
I'm
it's something
assu-
I wanted to happen anyway. So
I'm
hooray!
assuming you probably got spoiled on who she ends up with, right?
Yes, and I kind of shipped those two together the whole time. So
Now, this is exactly
not complaining.
This is actually a perfect segue. So, another reason why I love this series is because this series likes to focus on their side characters just as well as their main characters.
Mhm.
Shu is a really great character because of as you've seen in the anime, Falcon.
Uh-huh.
Basically, the reason why he acts the way he does is because someone told him, "Hey, go enjoy your youth." And basically,
Yeah.
so he basically has decided that no matter what he does, he's gonna put like 100% into it, whether it's stupid or like serious, you know.
Yeah.
And he has like a lot of good. Oh my god, there's so many good arcs. I'm trying to think. There's the one. There's that one, and then there's the one with Rui's grandpa, and then there's the one at the end, which was, oh my god, I wish I could just talk to you about them now. But basically, it really puts into perspective how well the author like thought out their side characters when he really doesn't.
Yeah.
They really don't have to. You
No.
know.
I mean, at the start, Ruri very much seems like Onodera's friend who's going to help her win over, Raku. And
Yeah.
then Shu is just, oh, he's the slightly perverted best friend of Raku who just wants to see girls naked all the time. Like, that's very much what it is. But you quickly find out there's a lot more to both of them than just being the like little 1-bit supporting characters that you think they're going to be.
Shu has a hidden talent of taking pictures.
Yeah.
Without people realizing, as you see in that episode where he's selling pictures of all the girls.
Yeah.
That may sound like a pretty skeevy ability, but it does come in handy later on in the series for one of my favorite moments when I remember I teared up when I saw it. Very good. But I can't talk about it because it's shown in the anime.
No. Season 3 win? Probably never.
Probably never, because I think the anime came out, 2012 or something?
I don't even remember. When did season 2 come out? When did season 2 come out?
Yeah, when did it come out, Falcon?
2015.
Wow, that was only 6 years ago. Holy crap.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, but it's most likely not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. I don't think it is. It would have happened by now, considering that the manga is finally complete.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those like it was a project that got binged temporarily for something that paid them more money or something. But yeah, I highly doubt we'll get it at this point. But I mean, they've been doing crazy things in anime lately, so I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but don't hold your breath.
So one of the best things about Shu is that he may be best friends with Raku, but he's also really like he looks up to Raku a lot as like a really good like role model for a lot of things. So
yeah.
He has his own little arc. I can't talk about it. Where basically you go into the anime, you're like, oh, here's Raku's stupid best friend who's just like perverted and stuff. But then you get the arc about him with the teacher.
Yeah,
he's like talk about with his feelings, and he's just like, and Raku's like, you should go do what you want, you know.
Yeah.
And if you feel sad about it later, we'll feel sad together. So he literally runs out in the rain to go tell her about his feelings, and obviously nothing happens because she's getting married.
Right.
And but she's like, well, it looks like you're enjoying your youth properly. And then that's the end of that. You never see the teacher again. But it was really nice. It's a really good starting point for Shu's character. You know, I would say the middle point is really good. And then the end point is also really good as well. But I can't talk about those because they were in the anime.
I mean, you find out even the teacher that he's crushing on ends up telling Shu that he's the most mature one out of his whole classmates, but that none of them realize it. Which at the time you're like, what are you talking about? This is the guy who's the guy in the hot springs trying to get everyone to find a way to peek over the fence, and he's the guy taking these secret photos. But then you find out he's only doing that because he's crushing on the teacher, and the teacher told him, like, you all really just need to enjoy being young while you can. Who cares if you're doing something? Like, he's pretty much like, he's very mature, but he doesn't show it because he's too busy just trying to enjoy being a teenager while he can enjoy being a teenager, because he can't do that crap when he's an adult anymore. So I feel like I wish the anime showed a little more of that side of him besides that arc, but at the same time, I don't mind it too much.
Unfortunately, the main character is Raku and not Shu, so unfortunately we did not get to see that. But if you stick with the manga, you will eventually get to see more moments with Shu and more moments with Rui, because they both get nice moments. Rui actually gets a really nice moment as well. When I'm not going to say anything, but basically she goes to visit her. It's funny. I'll just say the premise. So basically, her grandfather invites her to go see him, and his grandfather thinks that she has a boyfriend. She asked Raku to be her boyfriend. It's actually really funny.
Yeah.
It's a really sweet. And then I think Shu also goes along with them as well. And I think not Onodera. It's just Raku, Shu, and Ruri. It's the three of them.
Yeah.
It's a nice arc, though, I will say.
Yeah, Ruri is someone that I also really liked. I feel like she was also in contention for like best girl, even though I knew she would never get with Raku, just because I genuinely really liked her character a lot. But I'm also like, but I don't really consider her one of like the girls to be like best girl.
It's nice to have a character that's not in love with the main character.
Right. Yeah. And then I always liked her there. Like she liked Raku as like a friend, and she thought he was an overall good person, but she really only cared about trying to get Onodera to, be brave and confess her feelings, because if she did it, then Raku's dense enough, he's not going to just realize it. But yeah, I really liked them a lot. I wish we had a little more focus on them. Like
in the manga,
we could have not had the paired episode and had some fun Ruri and Shu episode.
Unfortunately, there was nothing like that in the original source material. Yeah. They're only side characters until they get their own arcs. And the thing I'm talking about at the end only happens. So the thing with Shu and Ruri that happens at the end only happens right before like things like go down, like for like the climax of the story. So it's like literally like the end, like one of the last few volumes of the like I still have the thing pulled up. Let me see. It is it's literally the 20, it's usually the 24th volume.
Okay. So yeah, like literally the one before the last volume.
Yeah, literally the one right before the last volume. So that's the time when Shu and Ruri get that moment together.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one with the grandpa, I forget what that one was. I know it was after season 2, obviously. Also, just as a heads up, we're pretty much done talking about the characters now. But even though we have watched the anime, the manga has some arcs that the anime did not show. I think I mentioned this to you, Falcon. But there is actually this one moment where Raku actually gets amnesia. He forgets about everything. And then he realizes he has like really nice friends, and there's like this moment where he looks at Chitoge. He's like, you know what, you're a really sweet girl, Chitoge. I'm glad that you're my girlfriend. And this is after season 1, and obviously Chitoge has the feelings for him, so she's like all blushy and stuff. So it's really cool. It's really nice. Here it is. It's volume 13 is the one with Ruby's grandfather, which the anime ended after like volume
10-ish, I think you said earlier.
Yeah, 12 actually, because it showed the one. It showed the one with Chitoge's ribbon, right?
Yeah, well, where she loses the ribbon, or they're trying to find it.
This is chapter 106. So basically, chapter 106. So basically, volume 12. So it's literally, if they continued right into season 3, it would have been like one of the first episodes of it. Of season 3, basically.
That makes sense.
All right. Well, I guess that's the characters. We talked a good amount. You probably got a good idea. But real quick, before we continue talking about the openings and other things, I have a character poll pulled up. Now, I know I mentioned chapter 106, but basically we mentioned, we talked about the season 1, mostly the characters. Again, we have there's a character, there's Onodera's sister, there's another hitman called Paula, and then there's Paula's friend who literally gets like nothing. I think she gets a little bit more in the manga, but I don't really remember.
But she was important enough to be in the opening.
Which is the best opening, but I digress. So for the poll, this is the first character poll. I think there's 3 character polls in total in the manga. The first place, who do you think got first place, Falcon? Why don't you give me a guess? Give me a guess. Who do you think got first place?
I think just knowing how these character polls tend to go, I don't know. I feel like all of the girls here are very strong contenders to being first. So I'm just gonna say Onodera. If we're doing the first character poll, I'm gonna say Onodera is probably the lead.
In first place with 4,893 votes, we have Kosaki Onodera.
All right, good deal.
Second place, we have Chitoge with 4,338. Third place, we have Sugumi with 2,982. Fourth place, we have Marika with 2,694. Fifth place with 971, we have Ruri. Sixth place is Raku. Seventh place is Shu. Eighth place is Claude. Ninth place is Kyoko, the teacher. 10th place is this thing called Naosho Komi. I think that's like the author or something.
Okay.
11th place is Onodera's mom. 12th place is this guy named Ryu. 13th is this place named Ada-chan. 14th place is this person called Suzuya Toru. And 15th place is Honda.
Okay.
Which is Marika's bodyguard.
Yeah.
And that's the character ranking.
Woo!
But I will say, for the last character poll, I think Marika got first place in that one. Because it was right after her like major arc thing in the manga. So
that makes sense.
She gets all the attention because she's the best girl.
Oh,
hype. So otherwise.
Hypoo.
Not until you read the manga, so haha.
All right. But yeah, openings and endings. We made the executive decision. We're only really talking about the openings because there are like 20 different endings.
So, yeah. So basically, season 1 and season 2 both have they have the main ending. There's like 2 main endings, but then there's like character ending themes, which is great. I'm sure they have a lot of budget to spend, a lot of music to go. But for us, we don't want to sit here spending 30 minutes talking about the endings. So if you want to listen to the endings yourself, well, just go on YouTube. Or just watch the anime.
Yeah. You can do either one. It'll be great. Great fun time.
Yeah, I'm never going to listen to them again.
Right.
I can't find the openings.
The first one is Click by Claris.
Where are you looking at this?
If you go on the Wikia page, you scroll down to music, and they've got all the openings and endings.
Well, I'm a little stupid.
But yeah. Click, and then I think the second one is at Step, I think. Yeah. Click, and then
Click was really good. I have to rewatch
Click, I think, is still my favorite. I really like Click a lot.
You are so wrong, my friend. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm okay to be wrong. Yeah, I really like it. I think it's jamming. I love the opening like scene they have to go with it. It's not my favorite opening scene, but I feel like it just fits the song very well. Like if you did like Click with the season 2 opening theme, it would be like, why did you pair these two together? But for how they did it, I really think it fits. What did you think about Step by Claris?
Is that the second one? So here's the thing. There's 22 episodes there's 20 episodes of season 1. 20 episodes. And they only put the second opening on like episode 16. So it only lasted for 5 episodes. What was the point in that?
So I think what they did with Click, they had a thing where they had all the different girls show up whenever they were introduced.
Yep.
And they did Click, I think, until the episode after Marika was introduced.
Yeah, it was after Marika.
That, we have like Marika and Honda show up on the thing, and then they moved over, which is fine. I like that. But I feel like you could have stopped with Sugumi, and then right before Marika came and had a second one, and then do the same thing with the second one where there's a spot where there's like a silhouette still blacked out. To where like in the first opening could have seen, there's still going to be another girl, but she's just not there yet. To where in season 2 or the second opening we finally saw like her picture. But they did not do that.
I did not do that. They just decided to be like, hey, let's just put another opening. I literally forgot the second opening was a thing in the anime. I'm like, wait a minute, another opening? What? Mm-hmm. But those are not the best openings in the anime. The best opening in the anime goes to the opening for season 2, which is Rally Go Round by Lisa. It's definitely really remember that one. It is great, and especially with like the opening, like cinematic, like the scene is just so great. Basically, they have to try to save Haru because she's on a wheelbarrow going down a hill, and it's really cool. Because then Raku gets kicked, and he goes like on the thing, and then like he gets sent flying and catches her like a prince on a horse. But then he gets flash.
Yeah, it was like them, like I guess going to school or just like out riding bikes together or something. But yeah,
they're going to school or something.
Raku's got like this like little wagon like trailer thing attached to his bike, and Haru's standing in it, and like an idiot just pulls the pin out of it, so it goes rolling down the hill, and they have to try to save Haru from getting hurt.
And Raku does it because he's the best character.
Yeah,
but then he gets a panty shot.
But then
and
you even
he
see
gets
like
punched.
Tsugumi and Paula, like, throwing the bike tires at him to propel him further to catch her and all that.
Which is
sort
so
of thing.
cool.
Then Ruri just like boss throwing the umbrella at him.
That's right.
That was I think my favorite part when he just grabs the umbrella and he's just like
he opens it up at the last second.
Yeah,
gently slides
like,
down.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so
I think
good.
that's my favorite part.
It's the best opening.
And then we end with panty shot, but whatever.
This is not negotiable. It's the best opening.
Definitely opening sequence. I still think I prefer this click, like lyric wise, but it's definitely my second favorite.
All right, I understand.
Yeah.
It's okay to be wrong.
Really, all of them are good. It's just Step is just like in there so little. It's like, oh
yeah,
this exists.
I'm sure I'm gonna completely forget about it, and if I ever go to rewatch it again, I'll be like, oh yeah, it's here again. Oh boy.
Yeah.
But that's the openings.
Yeah.
Ending themes, once again, if you'd like to know about the ending themes, I think there's like 10 or 20. I don't freaking remember. But
right.
Yeah, that's
so
you
many.
Just go there. It's there. All right, I guess we should move on. What is it? Weeb moment?
Yes, our weeb moment. All right, so we had really a hard time finding out one of these because this is very much just a harem anime. But we decided we would ask, would you uphold the promise from 10 years ago if you made the promise that Raku made? Would you like to answer first, or would you like me to answer first?
I will gladly answer first,
Okay.
Mr. Falcon. Would I uphold a promise made with the girl from 10 years ago?
That you would marry them whenever you reunited and opened
that depends. Depends on a lot of circumstances,
That
actually.
does depend on a lot of circumstances, yeah.
Unfortunately, luckily for Raku, all the girls for him are all literally nearby.
Yeah.
Life is not like that.
No,
I would have to
all.
keep in contact with them at all times, but I'd be like, what, 5 years? What, are we saying if I'm 5, or let's just say 10 years ago from now, or 10 years ago from 10 years ago? Like, let's say I made a promise right now to a girl, like, hey, I'm going to marry you in 10 years. Okay, we're going to get married. But that depends if I'm keeping in contact. If they keep in contact with me, nothing goes wrong in my life. I don't meet somebody else who I might consider changing my life with it. And they'll be there while the other person's not. I mean, that's not really been a big factor. All relationships are important to me regardless. But considering the context of the question, I would probably say it depends on the circumstances. If I keep in contact, yeah, sure, why not? But if I keep trying to initiate contact and they don't, I'm going to assume they're no longer interested, and I'll just give up and try to look for somebody else. So I guess my final answer is it depends. That's all you really can do for this question.
Yeah.
What about you, Mr. Falcon?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you. Like, if I'd made like a deal with somebody like 10 years ago in college, it was like, hey, if neither one of us are married in 10 years, let's just get married. Like, I feel like even if I didn't keep up with that person, there's a chance I might deal with it. But that's more just because I really hate dating. So someone's like, hey, remember we made this promise? I'm like, oh, darn, you're right. But yeah, I feel like it would very much matter. Because if it was something like where I was a kid and I made some weird promise that I forgot about like this, I'd be like, what? Oh, okay. No. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I don't know. It's a very, very weird thing. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't. Yeah, I guess kind of like you, it would kind of just depend, I guess, on
it just depends
the
on
scenario at the time. Like, I probably wouldn't even care if I kept up with them that well. It would really, I guess, just kind of depend on my mood whenever it was brought up to me.
Now, if I was in Raku's situation, I would probably say yes.
Yeah, I mean, you're still technically a kid.
Yes. No, let's say I made the same promise as Raku did with the girl, and then I managed to like see her again, and I actually have a crush on her, or I like her, or I'm dating her, or she's the one I promised to marry, or she's the one I shared my first kiss with. Spoiler for the last girl, but I would probably still try to keep up with it because it's a promise. Promises are important.
Yeah. Yep. All
what
right.
about you? What would you do the same thing if you were in Raku's position?
Probably. Yeah, I probably would, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, moving on, I guess we can move on to favorite moments of the anime. And
it is our favorite moment.
There is no fights other than the
really
Tsugumi versus Raku one, which isn't really much of a fight. It's more like Raku running away the whole time.
And you have Claude chasing Raku that one time when they first meet, I think.
I don't remember that, so it wasn't that, but I'm
I was thinking of something. Oh no, I was thinking of when Tsugumi started shooting at Shu and Shu does something stupid in the school.
Or like when she shot at Marika and all the police just came in. Oh no, she pointed her gun at Marika.
She pointed her gun at it, and then Marika's like, You see like Tsugumi surrounded by police.
weapon down! Put it down!
I love too when they're going on their date and he shows up. He's like, "Why are there all these police here?" And it's just like her like bodyguards walking her to the date. It's like, oh.
Now, my favorite moment of the anime. The favorite moment of the anime, not the series, because the series manga has so many more good moments. But you can probably guess what I'm gonna say. It was with Chitoge's mom.
Yeah, that was my favorite one too.
It just proves how much of an awesome person Raku is. He literally so basically the premise is Chitoge's mom's coming to visit for Christmas, and she's a very busy woman. And she's like, oh boy, it's good to see you, but I don't have much time, blah blah blah. You do a good Chitoge class as well. You're still wearing that old ribbon, I see. And the thing is, Chitoge loved the ribbon because her mom gave it to her. But
her mom's never around and never really gives her anything. She cherishes that ribbon because her mom gave it to her when she was a little girl.
And she feels like her mom doesn't love her. And then she takes Raku as like her secretary for like a week or something. I don't know how.
3 days.
3 days. And literally Raku, his whole mindset is no, I'm sorry. And basically she promised Raku that if he does well, he'll give her and him and Chitoge like a nice like 5-star hotel room for themselves. Yeah. And Raku's like, you know what? Screw that. Yeah. What I'm gonna do is if I do all your work and give you time, you're gonna spend time with your daughter because she freaking loves you and she misses you.
Yeah.
And then you find out by the end that basically her mom is kind of shy, doesn't know how to approach Chitoge at all. The cigarettes she was smoking was actually just chocolate cigarettes.
It was just candy cigarettes. Like,
did you just bite into that cigarette? Oh, it's chocolate. I guess
candy cigarettes don't even exist anymore because they are promoting bad habits, probably. But yeah, like back in the day, you'd go Halloween, you'd have that one person who just bought like the fake candy cigarettes. Oh man, they were the best.
So this guy, Raku, he keeps doing his best to like try to keep everything free for her so she can spend time with Chitoge, because that's all Chitoge wants, to spend time with her mom. And basically he manages to like free her up for like a whole day, but then she's like, oh hey, now I have more time to make more meetings, yay, thank you. And she's like, no, you're gonna go spend time with your damn daughter because she freaking loves you. And stuff. And he punches her. Everybody punches you, idiot.
Yeah, damn. So you find out everybody in the mafia is terrified of Chitoge's mom. Like the dad, Chitoge, everybody. They said that she has every minute of her day planned out for the next like 10 years or something like that.
Raku has that like all like on a schedule when he first gets there. It's like, holy crap, I've never seen someone so organized in my entire life.
She gets there at like Christmas Eve, and they wanted to meet They wanted her to meet Raku, so Raku's there. But even Chitoge is like, you have to show up wearing
Christmas Eve.
Whoa, yeah, it was before Christmas Eve. My bad. But it's like you have to show up wearing a suit because if you don't, that's bad or whatever. And like she shows up, she's like, I have 2.5 minutes to like speak to you all. And then like even the dad is like, oh, remember how I asked you a few days ago to set up a deal with this person? What happened with that? Oh, it's not done. Okay, goodbye. Go do that. And like Chitoge is just like, oh, you're still wearing that ribbon that's all tattered and stuff now. Like you should probably wear a new one. And then like, oh, this is your boyfriend, huh? And then one of her like employees or one of the mafia men's like, your secretary's passed out and's in the hospital for the next like 3 or 4 days, and we're all out of replacements because all the replacements are in the hospital. And she's just like, you think working like so many hours in a row would be fine or whatever? So she ends up taking Raku as her assistant for the next 3 days while her assistants are recovering, so that way she can get work done. But she tells him that if he gets it done and does a good job, she'll get them a 5-star hotel room so they can have some fun. He
works like super hard, and he keeps like trying to get Hana to like try to like spend time with her daughter on Christmas, and he actually manages to convince her at one point. She's like, okay, I got a few hours before my next flight out. I'll do it. And so this guy rides in a limo to get Chitoge because they're gonna have a Christmas party
from like their class.
It's actually rather funny because when Raku arrived, Chitoge's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I'm here to take you to a 5-star hotel. Everyone's like, what?
Yeah, and then they find out later it was because the mom was meeting him there. But he ends up talking the mom into meeting her there.
Going there, but then it starts snowing, and Hana gets a call saying, oh hey, your flight's gonna get pushed up, you gotta come, right? So
That-
literally, she goes to the airport, and Raku's still not giving up in the limo. There's traffic. He takes a bike to the hotel, and he finds out Hana's not there. So he calls her, and she's like, "Oh, hey, my flight got up. I'm sorry, I can't do it." Right. So you really think this is where a person would give up, right? He does not give up. He bikes ride all the way to the airport,
Mhm.
right? Literally to the airport, all the way there, and then he sees like the plane with Chitogi's mom like going
Mhm.
away. And again, you think that's another point to give up, but he doesn't give up. He calls like, "Hey, don't run away from this. You need to spend time with your daughter."
Yeah.
And then she throws the phone to Chitoge, and then Chitoge manages to convince her with her
Yeah.
mommy voice. And then she
Yeah.
comes back, and then
They spend the night in the hotel room.
no, it's cool because he throws her the keys, and it's just like, "You two
Yeah.
enjoy your night. I'm gonna go back and clean things up at the office." And she's like, "You gotta stop being so cool, boy."
Yeah. She
It's
she
so
really
cool.
grows to really respect Raku a lot.
I feel
Not
like
that she
that
did
was
it in the first
moment.
place. Like you find out she still remembers him from like 10 years ago when they had first met and all that sort of deal.
When
But
I watched the anime, I read the manga for the first time. I think this moment was the first moment that really signified how good of Raku was as a character. Because
yeah.
of the lengths he'll go to do things for his friends. Like he really went like all out. He did not have
No.
to do all that, but he did.
You find
He
out
did
like
it
she's this boss that even like adults are just like breaking down and can't handle the workload, and he does it like no problem. Didn't complain really about anything. We were like at the start, they keep talking about how hard she has to work for, and he's like, "What do you want me to do?" She's like, "Here, go buy a cola within the next 3 hours," and you're like, "Oh, that doesn't seem hard." And then like as soon as he goes down the stairs to like the soda machine and buys the soda, it's like, "I need you to go to the Disney store and buy this stuff," and he's like, "Do you know how freaking far away the Disney store is?" "Yeah, I need it done in an hour." "What are you talking about? Hurry!" And I guess he's like there. She calls with something else, and it's just immediately nonstop. Like, go here, do this, do that. And then by the end, he knew what to expect. It's like, I already went over here and got any gifts you might need for that, and I went over here and did this and that. Like, he very much proved very capable. Yeah, but then after that, we see tons of stuff like the one where Ruri calls Raku to tell him that Onodera's sick to go help take care of her. And he literally shows up to take care of her and Haru because they both end up being sick. Even though Haru is convinced he's going to try to like do things to them while they're in bed.
This is after the mom thing, by the way. This isn't at the same time. You didn't really signify.
Oh yeah.
But it's after the mom thing. But
Yeah, it's
basically
after
the
the
mom
mom thing.
thing. The mom thing is my favorite part. But I like
Yeah.
basically Raku's just a really kind person.
He is.
What's your favorite moments from the anime, Mr. Falcon?
I mean, the mom thing is definitely like my favorite moment of the whole show.
It's definitely the best moment of the whole show.
I like the one where he goes to take care of Onodera, and then when there's excites, just kind of helps reaffirm the fact of like he doesn't care whether these people like him or not. He needs to take care of them, so he will.
I'm going to help you. You're going to love it.
I really liked also the episode where Raku goes to help out at the Onodera sweet shop. Oh, that was just a fun one when they're alone in the storm trying to manage the restaurant, which really they had like one customer who was just some kind of skeevy old guy hitting on Onodera.
I didn't think he was skeevy. I think just Raku was just like jealous.
I mean, yeah, he was just that old guy who was paying her a compliment, but it came off as like kind of dirty. So Raku was like, "What, does that happen all the time?" "Oh, just him, really." It's just like, okay.
Okay, it's kind of sus.
He walks in, he's like, "Oh, Kosaki's the one here today. I must be so lucky." And I forgot what else he says, but it's kind of like, okay, this dude's kind of like hitting on her, and she's just like, "Oh, you're so crazy," or whatever. It's like, be careful with that dude on O'Dare. You don't know with him.
Things.
Otherwise, I'm trying to think of just more like funny moments. The fact it's been a little over a week, I tried to refresh my memory on it, but I honestly couldn't watch it twice.
Oh, I didn't want to watch it twice
this week.
again. No way.
Funny. I'm trying to think of like what's some more like comedic.
I sure did like the part where he tried to sneak out of the hot springs. That was pretty cool.
That was actually really creative how they did that.
Yeah, it was
like,
really creative.
First, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot they have like the typical hot spring episode where Claude switches the banner so he goes into the wrong side. But yeah, I liked how they did that. How there's actually like the little like tunnel going between the two where the water could flow to both hot springs. So he has to just
Onodera
like,
goes to hide over there. When
yeah,
they talk about who she has a crush on.
They're wanting to look at like Onodera's chest or something. She gets bashful and like hides right in front of it. So then like Chitoge has to get her to move so Raku can like swim through it or whatever. I did like that at the end where like Raku pops up and says, and they're like, "How long have you been there, Raku?" He's like, "The whole time. I was wanting to see how long I could hold my breath." Like, "Oh, we didn't even know you were here." It's like, he wasn't there. like how they just bought it, no problem.
They were too busy looking at girls.
Yeah, they're too busy trying to look at the girls.
But yeah, that was a good moment. You know?
I thought that was funny. Uh,
Again, I guess the shoe teacher thing was great too at the end.
that was a good moment. Yeah.
See, season 1 was good at setting the scene, but season 2 had like more of the character moments, as long as like the funny moments.
Season 2 is so weird.
All the focus on the sister.
No, they focus on the sister way too much.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Haru as a character a little bit, but like they focus on it way too much.
It made sense when she first got started. Like, oh, he's helping this new freshman. She like, I like the first episode or two. She was in okay, but by the end of it, I was like, can we like focus on one of the others?
More Marika.
I mean, like, season 2 is really weird because I feel like the beginning of season 2 was just like the really weird, random, just like stuff you don't care about. And then the second half of it was like super good when it wasn't focusing on Haru, but when it was focusing on Haru, it was still good, but just kind of like, can I get?
It's not what I want.
People? Yeah, it's like I'd rather see Onodera or Chitoge or Sagumi or Mari. It's like I'd rather have focus on all the others besides her. Like I felt like she got a little too much focus for how little she was in there.
All she does.
All the other new characters were in like one episode, and then she was in like Paula. 6, and it was like what? Like all right, but
all the girls.
Oh, I also really liked the moment when they got back from the school trip where Raku found the picture of Onodera changing, and he immediately took it to the teacher so that none of the guys could, notice it and have this picture of Onodera changing clothes. But
Onodera thought it was a picture of Chitoge when she
because her thumb was over her. And so I love when she goes to the teacher's desk in a much later episode and she's like, oh, why do you have that picture? And she's like, oh, Raku, brought it over because he realized he noticed you were changing in it. He didn't want you to get embarrassed or whatever. And then she realized it wasn't just a picture of Chitoge, that he was trying to, being thoughtful of her and whatnot. But yeah, I can't think of any others off the top of my head. Do you have any more that are coming to mind?
The Valentine's Day one was pretty great.
That one was pretty good, yeah.
The moment when Marco is chasing him with like a big statue of himself made out of chocolate was amazing.
I will say the non-fan service parts of the beach episode was actually really, really good as well.
But bikinis.
I mean, I'm not hating the fan service parts. I'm just saying, like, you have the whole deal with him and Chitoge on the pier, and then Onodera over here. Like, I just feel like they really did that very well, how they kind of tied it all out.
The play was really funny, too, at the end of season 1.
Yeah.
Like, it went, like, off script, and everything just went, like, crazy. It was really
good. Yeah, it was not even, like, Romeo and Juliet by the end of it. And then that also helped them get over, like, their fight that he and Chitoge had been having at the time.
It was
because of the beach episode. Yeah, I like that a lot.
It was the fun moment where Chitoge realizes she's in love with Raku, like every other girl.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's oh my goodness. And then Sagumi also falls in love with him, but doesn't want to admit it because she loves Chitoge. And it's just like, okay. So much stuff. Yeah, it was overall really, really good. I guess we should move on to if we would recommend.
Of course, I'd recommend this.
Yeah,
it's not bad. It's not bad. I wouldn't say it's the best anime, but it's not bad. It's moderately good. It has good funny moments, some fan servicey moments, some good characters. It's pretty basic, so I'd recommend it for like a beginning person. Like, hey, you want to get into a good anime with some pretty cute girls and pretty good animations? Because the animation was always pretty good. I would give this anime. I want to say a 7 out of 10, probably, because it's good, and then it has a really good manga afterwards. Like Jesus, there's so many good moments that I'm thinking of. It was actually funny. I actually went back in the beginning of it. When I first started watching the anime, I'm like, now I want to read the old parts that I really like. And I read them and I cried. I'm just like, oh, it's so good. It's such a good series. I love it. But yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10. It's really good. Good moments. You'll probably end up liking one of the girls. You'll really like the main character. I don't think he'll really get on your nerves that much. So
he's not that annoying main character.
No, he's not that annoying main character. He's a really good, really amazing main character in my opinion. Probably one of my favorites. So that's what I would give Nisekoi anime. What would you give Nisekoi anime? Oh, and I also say season 2 is better than season 1.
Would you really?
I like it had the mom thing and the shoe thing. I just like things like that. Like I'm the type of person. This is why I love Gintama so much. Where it's like, oh hey, you have all these characters goofing around, but when things get serious, things get freaking serious, and you can count on people. Like Raku went again, as I mentioned, he went in on trying to get Chitoge to spend time with her mom. He went so hard in that like you don't really have to go that hard, but he did. I love moments like that. It's why I love Gintama so much.
That surprised me because I feel like season 2 is, while it had probably my favorite moments, I feel like it also was the most inconsistent. I feel like season 1 was super consistent.
That's because
season 2 is just like all over the place. It'd be like great moment, then really weird. But anyway, that's beside the point. I would definitely recommend this to somebody new. I feel like this is a really perfect one if you want to get into anime, but you don't care about the like shonens like Naruto and all. I mean, this is still technically, I guess, a shonen because it's in Shonen Jump.
It is a shonen.
Which surprised me when it first got published. Like, wait, a harem is in Shonen Jump? Like, okay. But if you're not interested in like the more battle mangas, I feel like this is a really good starting point. Newcomer friendly, veteran friendly, friendly just people who like good characters and good character moments. I think I'd agree. I think I'd rate it a 7. I don't feel like, at least what we have so far of the story, that it's anything outstanding or super groundbreaking. But I feel like it's a very well done story that you can enjoy pretty much no matter who you are. Both of us have given it a 7.
And you prefer season 1 over season 2, I assume?
I don't. Hold on.
We got a yawn.
I was about to sneeze, but it stopped. Hooray! But we did pretty good. Made it until close to the end before that happened. I was expecting it to have happened like 5 times by now.
But you didn't sneeze, so it doesn't count.
Yeah. So we're still at 0. You sneeze, that counts. Condor sneeze. Anyway,
was a fake sneeze. I'm trying to get you to sneeze. So would you prefer season 1 over season 2, or season 2 over season 1?
I don't know. I feel like they're both. Like I already said, I think I'd probably prefer season 1 just because I preferred that it was more consistent. But I really did like a lot of the character moments from season 2 a lot better.
Season 2 did skip a lot of the manga.
Okay.
I will say.
I feel like if we got another 20 episode like season 2, I feel like I'd probably would enjoy it more.
Ooh, yeah, that would have been good. We could probably get like the amnesia arc and some other things. Maybe the Ruri thing with her grandpa at the end.
Yeah. But as of now, I feel like season 1 was a little bit better overall, just consistency wise for me. But yeah, that has been our rankings. We'll probably get into some more spoilery discussions in a
That's what I was actually going to ask. We basically pretty much summed up most of the anime with the moments and like all the good stuff. If we were talking about spoilers, I'd probably just talk about what happens after the anime with the manga, since I know. But if you don't want to hear that, Falcon, and you just want to read it for yourself, we could just not do a spoiler section.
We can do that. We might can talk about it later. I guess we can just end off here then.
All right. So next week, what anime will we be watching? Well, this is my choice.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're the one who's picking. Why are you asking?
Yes, well, I'm just trying to make it sound good for the audience.
Okay. You're trying to. My apologies.
Make sure to take that out of cut. What anime will we be watching next week? Well, for next week, it is my decision, and I have chosen an anime.
Oh.
Like any other anime.
Okay.
We are watching. My roommate is a cat.
Okay. All right. That was not what I was expecting, but all right, I'm down. Let's go.
I don't want to do Mary Nikki this week. I'm going to do it probably next time. I'm on my vacation. I want to play Persona 5 Strikers. So I want to watch a nice 12, 13 episode anime this week, nice and short, so I can have more time for that. I think you will really like this one. It's really cool. It's about a guy who writes manga, and he adopts a stray cat. And he slowly becomes more like warm with the human world. It's really good. It's a really nice one. It has a really good opening.
Okay.
I think you'll enjoy it. So that's why I'm recommending it. So next week, stay tuned for My Roommate is a Cat.
All right. And this has been our episode on Nisekoi, False Love. We hope you all enjoyed it. And if you did, you can rate us or like us on your podcast service of choice. We would greatly appreciate it. You can follow us on Twitter at BirdBroPod. That's where we post updates on if schedule delays or just random things we think about or find fun. You can also find me on twitch.tv/FinalFalconberry, where I stream some. I'm currently taking a little bit of a break, but that is where I will be if you want to leave me that follow, see me play some games, and talk anime while we do it. Anyway, My Roommate is a Cat shall be next week. We hope you all will tune in and enjoy that as well. Condor, do you have any final words for the people?
Marika is best girl.
Marika's best girl. Oof. Waifu Wars shall begin. Anyway, thank you all for watching. We hope you all enjoyed it. And hopefully we will see you all next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.